Hello, everyone. It's Veronica Bartolini, Codebreaker Real Talk, and I have my friends here, Dr. Maria Salas. I have Susan Long with me and Mr. Chad Cooper. Welcome, everyone. We're going to talk about Maria. Let's go. Let's do this.
We're just going to talk about a lot of things. I think you wanted to talk about health and fitness. Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Maria Salas, and I am an independent consultant with Arbonne, and I happen to be a chiropractor. And so Veronica invited me on tonight, and I thought I would just keep it real simple and concise and just tell you guys everything that I tell my patients every day. And that's mainly talking about, a few key things about health, fitness, and wellness. And usually in the community, in my local community and with you guys, my goal is to kind of help shift the consciousness from like a dis-ease model to more of a like health and wellness model, right? And that is like super important for right now because we're dealing with a lot going on, and who's talking about that, right? So we want to always make sure that we're talking about natural health, how to do things in a natural way, eating cleaner and things like that. So one of the first things that I talk about is healthy exercise and healthy movement in my office. And I know, Veronica, you spend a lot of time working out. I work out a lot. But what I really like to emphasize is there are different types of, times in your life where movement is going to always be important. There's that high performance time where you're looking to, maybe you're an athlete or you have to perform at a really high level. There's the beginner athlete or the person that's just kind of awakening into knowing that they really need to get in shape. There's the longevity person. There's someone like, me and Veronica, we've been working out, lifting weights since we were teenagers. And then also there's like an injured slash someone that's maybe on the spectrum of, not feeling so well. They're on that ill side of the spectrum. And I actually really think that even if someone is sick or not feeling well, there is something that they can do, and there's always hope. So always keep, movement in your life. What about you, Veronica? How do you feel about movement? Because for me, it's actually super important for my emotional health. And since I'm a chiropractor, I'm moving bodies, I'm doing this and that. So I have to keep my body strong.
Yes, I really don't want to talk about labels but this is for the general public too. So since I was a kid and a teenager, I was diagnosed in this matrix, which I don't belong to it anymore, with DID, which is dissociative identity disorder, PTSD, anxiety. I deal with that crap every day. So if I don't move, then I'm going to be like more heightened and aware of my anxiety, of the anxiety, not mine, right? We have to correct our words. So to me, I was weighing 271 pounds. Okay. You guys saw my pictures on Facebook, and I was on CPAP machine. They had me on all kinds of psychiatric medications, plus heart medications, because I had a TIA, which is pretty much a brain heart attack for people that don't know. This was 3 years ago in September. So I started just walking. I said, forget about, I threw away my CPAP. I started breaking they had me on all kinds of stuff, clonazepam, fluvoxamine. I started breaking that stuff in half and then little and then little. Finally, I got rid of everything. Stopped the epidural shots that I was getting in my lumbar and in my neck. They were so painful. I'm to this day though, I still get the migraine shots, 34 shots in my head because I suffer from that and TMJ and all that. But I'm very grateful that I just said one day, I said, I've had enough. And I started with apple cider vinegar with water and walking. And then I said, no more tortillas. So it took me 3 months to get rid of the white flour. It's very addicting. And soda, no soda. Start, just changing my diet. But I'll let you guys talk. But what I'm trying to say is it can be done. It took me a year and a half and I lost 105 pounds. And then I decided, well, I'm going to build my glutes. I'm going to get stronger. I'm going to get sexier for me and stronger because I am the Hulk. Okay. Since I was a kid, I'm like, "Grr," you know, so I'm like, I gotta look good for me. I want to be able to look in my body naked. This is a show for adults, by the way. And be happy with my body and say, man, I gotta sculpt this a little more, that a little more. And if I want to, one day I'll get a tummy tuck, if I want it. But anyway, your guys' turn. Thank you.
What I like is that your experience and your story is that you had a decided heart and you said, okay, I'm done. This is what I'm going to do. And you kept it simple for yourself, right? You started with walking and apple cider vinegar. Those things are inexpensive, right? Anyone can do them if you can walk. Most of the time when we're walking, we're outside, so we're getting all the benefits of fresh air, vitamin D, and maybe you were walking with a friend, so you got some social help. Chad, was there anything that you wanted to talk about healthy exercise or healthy movement in your life?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I got caught up. I mean, I've been known for being incredibly healthy throughout my life, but I've also had ins and outs with it. So I was raw foodist before, and I went off of that, and then I decided to explore everything there was in a grocery store this year through COVID, and kill every little monster that was living inside of me. That was sugar related or something, and so last week I did get off of the sugar because it was medicating. When life isn't very sweet around you, sometimes we ingest that, and so or take it in through our food, and it's the best thing I've done. And I agree with the exercise too, because getting off of sugar isn't so easy, because it's not like you just quit eating candy. It's your pasta, it's your bread, it's in so many things. And when you walk around a grocery store, it's in just about everything. So I need to stop shopping there and go back to the market. But today it was really helpful for me. I do Pilates. That's one of my exercise things that I really like, because I do believe in keeping that core strength. And this is sort of old school, but I think it's something that should stay around or at least be considered. Helps so much to have that core strength, but just moving my body physically was helping me today. I could feel it, like the combination of being healthier, or going through my detox from the sugars, and feeling like I'm now in that zone where I feel good, and adding the exercise to it too. And then it's just we need to consider these things to get, with COVID and stuff.
I don't think Pilates or keeping your core strong is old school. I think it's super important. And, from my perspective, I see this every day, Chad, right? So most people, they have jobs where they're sitting, or, at least they're in one position for a long period of time. And even with my job, moving bodies around, and probably like you too, Susan, it's like we have to place our body in a certain position to protect ourselves so we can keep doing it. We got to be able to keep bringing home the bacon. So with healthy movement, I'm always trying to kind of create that example for people to think of themselves as a professional athlete. Okay, yeah, maybe you're not making $1 million, $2 million or whatever, and you're going out into the court or the field, but what you are doing is you're going and getting up every day and doing that thing to bring home the bacon. And you got to be able to keep doing that to support yourself in your life. So, and then the other thing I like to talk about is make sure that you're doing something you like, something fun, like you like Pilates. I like hiking, taking the dogs for walks and stuff like that. Susan, did you want to talk a little bit about your movement?
Well, I've always been a jock. I was on a summer and winter swim team. I played field hockey. I played track. I did long distance running. I studied ballet for 8 years with a Russian Bolshoi prima ballerina, and she was fierce. And then in 2011, I got rear-ended at a red light and suffered 8 herniated discs. And I had 2 surgeries in 2015. I have 4-level cervical fusion, my C3 through C7's fused, and my L2 through L5's all herniated. So I got this lovely hip and groin pain and glute pain. And somehow I've healed myself from the sciatic pain that I had through chiropractic and massage and energy work, because that was really bad initially. It went down into my feet, and I had to relearn how to walk again, because I had to consciously place my foot down a certain way because my feet kept wanting to turn in after that injury, just because the nerves and all the sciatic issues going on. I love Pilates, like you were saying, Chad. And I also like to do a lot of hip opening yoga. Ashley Sargent has a good one that I know people hate Gaia TV, but there's another lady that's in her 60s. I can't remember what her name is. It was on my list. And she has a really good one if your hips are hurting. And, it's one of those cold days where everything is hurting. You can do that before you go to work. Because I'm always telling my clients, because I have a lot of farmers and Amish I work on, get in. If you can't get your socks on in the morning, you're having trouble bending over, go get an Epsom salt bath first thing, then you'll be able to take your pain levels down a notch or two, depending on how bad it is. And once you get to that level, then we can get you into some Pilates and some yoga and get you over to the chiropractor. I love chiropractic. Actually, just went to the chiropractor today. So.
I really love your human spirit, Susan, because I think it's natural and innate for a person that's either sick or not feeling well or injured to want to be better. And, a lot of times if it goes on for too long, then it starts, breaking down your spirit a little bit. And so I really always encourage to just do something. And, when we're injured or ill, we have to modify it down so far down sometimes, and it's hard to start over, especially if you were an athlete, growing up like me. I was a shot put and discus thrower in high school. I was on the swim team like you, Susan, and then in college I actually threw the hammer, and then throughout all of our lives we did martial arts because my dad's a Marine and that's what he wanted his daughters to do. So anyways, but what I always come, back down to is, like I said, modify, whatever works for you. And then, it always depends. If you're a competing athlete, you're going to be different than someone that's like what I call more of like an industrial athlete like us. We're keeping our body ready for our patients every day and our clients every day. So you want to go ahead?
I was, down for those nine years. And I've been very athletic since I was a kid. I played football with the guys, wrestling. I did jujitsu when I was in the police academy. So for me to stay down for those 9 years of pain and of self, pity, or just depression, I went through a rough divorce or whatever. But what I was trying to say is in 2006, I did a competition. So the way I train at the gym is actually, I train for me now. And I train 3 hours a day, 4 times a week. When I started again 2 Septembers ago. And, but before that, because we have muscle memory, but before that, my friend, Rogelio and I, we would walk. He's like, Vero, come on, let's go walk. So we'd walk anywhere from 8 to 10 to 11 miles a day. And if we wanted to, we'd climb a mountain. So that's 16 miles. And then I told Raj, Raj, let's get a bike. Let's go mountain biking. So I got my bike, he got his, and we'd go 33 miles, when they closed the gym in 2020. So there's no excuse. I traded my police boots, my Bates, which I have 2 pairs, by the way. I traded one of them for a bar, for a squat bar. I started doing that here. It's like, there's no excuse, really. It's how bad you want it.
Totally.
Yourself with, your friends. Who are your friends? Really?
Even my dad, we had to amputate his foot in 2016, and he's wheelchair bound, and being a Marine probably helps a little bit, but we always encourage him to be outside, and we joke around, hey, let's go for a walk, a roll, and so even just him moving is great. So we always start off with healthy exercise, healthy movement, and then the next thing we talk about is healthy nutrition. So it's very interesting once we start talking about nutrition, because people have a lot of emotions tied to what goes past their lips. Okay. And so it's a very personal journey, what I've noticed. And the moment you start talking about taking things away from people is when it gets really complicated, right? And it doesn't have to be that way, but in my experience, that's what happens. So, but what I do know is the common denominator is that I want to eat the cleanest that I can, right? And I know it may not be a certain diet like keto or fasting or whatever, but for me, I know what it feels like if I eat something that I'm not supposed to eat. I know what it feels like, right? The other thing I want to add to this part, because as an Arbonne consultant, we always talk about nutrition with our clients, but the other thing that we talk about is nutrition for our skin. And we know that it takes 26 seconds for anything you put on your skin to get into your bloodstream. So that's super important for me too when I'm looking at products at the store. We turn the thing around and we look at ingredients, right? So it's super important that the nutrition that you have for your body and the nutrition that you have for your skin is as clean as it can be. What do you guys think?
I'd like to chime in, because I don't put anything on my body you don't eat. There may be an exception out there, I'll think of it, but like witch hazel or something. But for the most part, I don't use anything on my skin that you can't ingest. And I do use a little bit of soap and here and there, but not excessively. I also like what Susan said about opening the hips, because I do think we carry a lot of emotions down there. And I heard that as a Westerners in our culture, we don't really squat much like they do in the East. And it's important to remember to sit on the bottom step or to do your plies, or just to open up those hips and really get it going, because that does drive a lot of our food cravings and stuff. I'm curious to hear though, like, because I do I kind of resonate more with fruitarian. I know there's probably people out there with blood types that resonate more with meat eating. And so when I listen to my body, what I understand is if there's a craving, like I've gone through those in the last week, so I'm quite experienced with that, giving up the sugar this time around, that it's actually your body letting. A craving is not an emotion of your body letting you know what you need to eat. It's letting you know what it's letting go of. And so it seems kind of tricky to figure out intuitively what, I can tune it to my intuition to see what I should be eating, but not my emotions so much, or my feelings, I think.
Yeah. So a lot of times I've heard too, that could be what that person is allergic to. So you have to really be careful with how you feel after that. Is there guilt attached to it? Is there like a bloating? Is there a physical sense? Is there an emotional sense to it? The other thing that I was talking about with the squatting, Susan, is that if we're talking about nutrition and we're talking about eating, we're also talking about waste product and letting go of the waste, right? So going to the bathroom, going number 2, having that squat position is actually a more of a natural position for, going to the bathroom. And I don't know if that's what you're getting at too, Chad, but very important to be able to have those heels down and being able to kind of open whatever chakra that is. I don't know all the names. Susan probably knows more than me, but kind of really opening up that hip area. Go ahead.
Your root and your sacral chakra.
Yeah, I'll just say a little bit here real quick. This is what I use, Indian healing clay, and I mix it with organic apple cider vinegar, and that is great for opening up the pores in your body. And then I do the salt baths. And my salt baths are baking soda. I put Himalayan pink salt, Epsom salt, which is citrate magnesium, which is what our body needs to let go of the aluminums and the toxins. And then I also add a splash of apple cider vinegar again. And then when I'm really tired in the morning, and I'll just add some black coffee. You can also add lavender, sage oil, whatever it is that you need. And I also boil ruda, which is R-U-D-A. It's a plant. It's in the desert. You boil it, you add it in there, and it helps you to walk. It helps me to walk. Going back to squatting, I do legs to at least minimum twice a week. And that means on my first day of leg day is squatting. Then I do my deadlifts. I do my back rows. And then I do my leg press. Okay. I was able to leg press 783 pounds 4 days ago. So my goal is to hit 1,000. I don't know when, but ever since I started training that way, hardcore again, just for me, twice a week legs minimum, because then the third day I'll skip, like the 2 days are consecutive legs, because then you got to do the machines and all that, the open and closing, what do they call those, abduct whatever machines, and the other machines, right? So then I skip like 3 days or 2 to do chest and all that, and then I'll go back to doing floor exercises like Susan was talking about. I'll do the arches up and down the floor exercises, but I take it a step further and I put my legs up on the wall and go up like this on heels, and then open, close, down all the way, go up all the way, open, close, as many as you can. And then you could do the ball, the huge ball, and then do leg raises, which is for your core. My core is really strong. The only people think that you got to do sit-ups every day. No, I do sit-ups twice a week. That's it. And I do my side bends twice a week, 25 pounds on each. So anyway, we can get into detail later if we need to, or we can do another video. But I find it interesting how you can actually mold your body. And the way I encourage myself on a daily, and back then when I was so heavy and sick, was I see myself as a hippo running on the elliptical or the machine. And I have a little poster up there of the unicorn. I don't know if you've seen that little cartoon or meme. And I kept telling myself, one day I'm going to be a unicorn again. And every day I would look at myself in the mirror and I say, I love you, girl. You are that, queen. You are that BITCH. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You rule. I am that I am. I got this. Like I would see my body molding and my mind first. And I would talk to my DNA and say, we got this, my muscles and everything. And I have no idea how, supposedly I need this really bad back surgery of 5 vertebrae and more next year. I don't know how I'm doing. I think it's in my spirit, guys. It's willpower. It's self-love. I think it's dealing with those issues that want to weigh people down on this earth, on this matrix, dealing with yourself, looking at yourself, who you are, looking at your messed up mind. Sometimes you have these thoughts that are not yours that you just got to return them to sender. Remind yourself you're better than this. What do you guys think, as far as your experiences or with your patients, because you all.
Yeah, I think it's super important that some people are ready to talk about certain things, but I definitely talk about talking to your cells and your DNA. And it might be a new concept for people, but I really do encourage that. And, I say you have the power, take it back, take back the power, go back to that original DNA. Do you want it or not? And so anyway, that's sort of what my conversations that I have with people. Susan, did you want to talk anything about nutrition? Didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, I was just thinking about movement and chronic pain and all that, and how we've had to modify things. I mean, I have, that's what's going through my head, because I used to, work 20 hours is usually what a massage therapist works. And now I'm down to like 9, maybe 12. And then I'm still have bad chronic pain. but summer's better than winter. But unfortunately, where I am now, there's 6 months of winter and 6 months of summer. So yeah, weights are going to disappear soon, and it'll just be Pilates and yoga. So yeah, because the pain's going to get worse because it'll start snowing in a couple of weeks where I'm at. But I don't even drink soda anymore. I stopped that a long time ago. And what was Chad was talking about cravings. I don't know why, but I was eating vegetarian, and then for the last week, or no, it's been 2 weeks now, I've been craving red meat. It's like, what do I need to stock up on the iron for? I know I'm kind of I'm slightly anemic anyway, and probably more so when I eat vegetarian. But yeah, I don't know what that's about, because usually meat just is, the smell of it's really revolting to me lately. But then for some reason I've wanted it lately the last 2 weeks, when for the last 2 years I couldn't stand it.
Yeah, maybe it's the protein that you need, maybe not, meat per se, but your body is like saying, I need protein. So we talk about in my office healthy exercise and movement. We talk about healthy nutrition, and those two go so hand in hand for the next one, which is healthy rest and relaxation. And I actually really think that those are very two separate things. I also think that when we're eating in a way that feels good for us, and we're moving in a way that's enough for us, the healthy rest and relaxation happens easier, right? Your body's tired, right? So, and then like today, Chad, you said you took a nap. That's so awesome. I like to look at rest as that simple reboot for your brain, because remember, this is a computer, and it's a very powerful computer, and has it needs to be rebooted every now and then. And so especially at all of our ages, it's really nice to take that 10, 15 minute, 20-minute, you just feel that your body starts shaking, and then you kind of go on to your day. I believe resting is very important, and I like to look at it as downtime, just like we would give babies or young kids. If we followed a little bit more of what they do, we would probably be better off. But having downtime could be, like what Veronica does when she's making all of her things, or you could be doing your poetry or writing in your journal. You could be doing some art. You could be praying, contemplating, meditating. All of those things could be considered your rest time and relaxation. And then sleep, that's a whole different ballgame, because I'm speaking to an audience right now where sleep is, like you guys heard me before, I call it my third shift. And so I look at sleep a little bit different than I would with the general population. With the general population, I like to talk about healthy sleep hygiene, having that balance of the sleep-wake cycle where Veronica, I know this is going to be funny to you, but literally trying to go to bed at the same time every night, and then waking up at the same time every day. And then really just trying to find that equation that works for you, whether it be turning off the modems, turning the lights out at 8 or 9 o'clock at night, starting to read, turning off all the screens, maybe getting your blue light or whatever blocker type glasses on if you're going to have any light on, eating a little bit further away from the time that you're going to go to sleep. All of those things that you can do to kind of help yourself naturally fall asleep. What do you guys think?
I agree with you. Absolutely. I've also realized too this year, like me going through what I did with the eating, that I was leaning a little more into, because we're dealing with the times as well right now. So we want to take that into consideration with, we won't say the names of what's going on, but, we want to be protected. So I was really spending a little too much money on my supplements. And then I realized, like, if I just eat healthy, the body does naturally what it's supposed to. So that's one of the reasons I got off of the sugar last week. And it's the truth. So now I can kind of focus on like what I need right now to supplement. I'm doing like heavy metal detoxes and different things like that, just to protect myself. but it really is just a matter of, if you eat healthy, your body will do what it's supposed to do. And
So it's interesting that you're saying this, because let's talk about access to the food and good food, right? Because that is a huge deal for a lot of people. And, even organic doesn't mean no chemicals, it just means less chemicals, right? So if we're talking about they know how hard we have it down here. They know that our access and the cleanliness of our food and water is an issue. So I always like to make sure that we talk to it before I eat it or drink it and give it its power back. Some people call it praying over your food. I just want to talk to it and give it some power back. How about you guys?
absolutely. I even treat my water. I have a vessel here that I keep my water in with crystals and copper, because they say it has like four. You were talking a little earlier to me about how the body is made up of primarily water as well. And so I even stir it to get the vortex going so that it can go into its realignment. I've heard it's had a fourth state other than the ice, vapor, and regular. So, and I do send good intentions into my water and also my food. I forget to at times. I get reminded. I mean, we all want to eat something that we're not supposed to sometimes, and you can still do that, but it's important to talk to your food and put that energy into it. It's all about that. And food is a tool, really. And right now I've just been adjusting because I feel this call to action. So it's like, it's time to get things in order. I think everybody's kind of feeling that pressure right now. Like, we've had an emotional year. Maybe we've eaten some things that we shouldn't have, but it's just recentering and refocusing right now for me. And also lightening, it was a little too much in the supplements. So I've just realized that, the more water I drink, the more love I put into my water, the more, the healthier foods that I'm putting into my body right now, which is mostly fruit. I feel so much better. I feel like I'm a different person than I was last week already. Like, quite literally.
That's awesome. I can definitely sense your resolve, and I can sense that you're like on this new chapter and you are ready to go. And it's almost like, what I always like to look at it is like, let's get ready so we don't have to, let's be ready and practice being ready so we don't have to get ready at the last minute, right? And so,
yeah, done it many times before, but this time around it feels necessary.
interesting, right? So we honor that innate feeling that we have to prepare for impact. Were you going to say something, Susan, about food?
Shoot, I've been craving cantaloupes and blueberries. I think I just need food for those chakras.
Or was it
Orange,
sleep and relaxation that you wanted to talk about?
Sleep and oh no. I'm all about raising the vibration of the food, because our food's been tampered with, a lot of it, before we get it. I would say most of it. So I always holy fire raking my food, and at least I don't know what I eat twice a day. I know I'm supposed to eat more, but at least I've raking my food twice. Like, I don't remember my water always. I don't remember my coffee. That's it.
No, that's okay. If you have a routine and you want to share it, what you do before bed. I think Veronica has shared with us, her baths and what she does to help relax. What I always want to encourage, though, is it's really interesting. I see a lot of veterans doing it, but watching TV and watching either the scary movie or the war movies can be very stressful. And so I really want to encourage to, turn the news off and turn off those war type, even if it's historical in nature, turning those types of things off before bed. Because I think that kind of puts you in a different state to not be able to relax. We're really trying to get to a few REMs at night so we can feel rested. And if we talk about our third shift of, you know, what we're doing in the third shift, you know, it's better for us, I think, to be effective during that dream time. What about you? What do you think, Veronica?
Thank you. Yes, I have been making myself read at least 4 or 5 pages a day, and especially during right before I go to bed, because I was so used to, you know, watching something that was triggering, you know, and that doesn't help. So yeah, I love to read. You know, when I challenged myself when I was in 6th grade, they were gonna give out something, I don't know, Pizza Hut or whatever it was, and a personal one, okay? And they're like, if you read 100 books, you get this personal pizza. And so I read 101 or 102 books, and I love reading. My thing is, I'm a little girl at a candy shop. When I'm at Barnes and Noble or a bookstore, you know, it's like, I want all of the books because they speak to me. Like I want to write. I want to, you know, just breathing, right, Chad? And like the Crayolas when we're kids and first day of school. I'm a nerd, okay? So I would get my little pencils, and back then we had the little wooden boxes, and they were 25 cents back then. And my mom would buy my sisters and I that, and the crayons and the sharpener. It's just amazing. So all that, I think it helps me when I think about this at night, it kind of calms me down. Because yes, you know, we do have, like you said, Maria, we do have to wear those blue blockers, which I forgot mine right now, but that actually, when I wear those, they help a lot. They're only like $9-10 at Ross or whatever. Yeah, those I'm gonna go find mine too. But real quick, let me just tell you my routine when I work out. Like lately, I've only been working out 3 times a week, 3 hours at a time. It was 4 times a week, or you know, but because I'm getting ready for whatever I have to do this week. And so what I do is I won't have breakfast. I'll do this amino acid. Okay, this is like a pre-workout, but I will add my creatine in it. This is the creatine I do, is creatine HCl. So, and then I work out 2 hours, then my 3rd hour, which is cardio, I drink my organic protein, non-GMO, glucose-free, blah, blah, blah. And I know, Arbon, you have one too, right? And then for hydration, because I get leg cramps, the fizz, Maria, that you sent me, I'll go get it right now. But I was drinking this too. But let me go get the fizz so I can show you guys. I'll be back real quick.
Yeah. So what I try to do is take like an adaptogen. It's called Intercalm. It's like a de-stressing powder, you know, with the ashwagandha and all of those sort of with saffron, and it's a peach flavored, but I really don't want to be doing any stimulants probably after 12 noon. That's my body. Some people can handle it a little bit better. I think people that are maybe along the side of ADD or ADHD, caffeine can sometimes be opposite for them, and it can actually help calm them a little bit. I'm not that way. I need teas, like herbal teas, and the adaptogens to kind of help calm me down. Before bed, I usually try to, it is so hard because we're addicted to it, but I try to kind of turn the computer off. I know this sounds crazy, but I don't want to be peeing all night. So I try to like stop at a certain time. I definitely keep water right by the bed, but just some of those different things. And then of course, working out helps get me tired, but my CBDs help me to kind of calm me. And then I do a sleep spray, a little cocktail that I've created. I do a CBD like an hour and a half before bed. And then right at bed, I do a melatonin sleep spray, and it has some other awesome herbs in there too. But, and we know that melatonin can be great for, you know what? So, if you guys want to ask me what, you know what is later, I'll tell you the C word. So, But anyway, that's my routine for bed. And then a few times in the summer, I was actually liking to go outside and just sit out there and stargaze. It was sort of calming. And then I know this is sound counterintuitive, but I did put an app on my phone just to kind of see what I was looking at, and it was just really nice, kind of checking out all the stars and getting to know the sky a little bit. What about you guys?
Oh, there's a beautiful star in the night sky at 2:30 in the morning right now, but it's a planet and it's blinking this beautiful aqua. Oh my gosh, it just strobes aqua and some kind of pink. But yeah, meditating under the stars is wonderful. My morning drink that I had this morning was I make this mushroom like tincture. I use reishi and chaga and lion's mane, and I boil it for hours. Not boil it, but simmer. And then I use that as the base, and then I add a golden latte or golden milk. They call it golden tea. It's turmeric and coconut powders and stuff like that. But it's a nice beverage to drink and very, it just kind of doesn't get you hyper, but it gives you a nice, pleasant energy.
And it's so great for your immune system. All those. That is our Arbonne Energy Fizz drink. What I like about that is it's going to be more alkalizing than coffee. It is green tea extract, and guarana extract is the caffeine that's in there. But also all the B vitamins are going to be helping to amp too. So that's the other thing. I try not to take B vitamins at night or other vitamins like that are stimulating, or a ton of brain food, because I want the calming. So I'll tend to do that in the morning.
I do magnesium, 4 capsules to 5 a day. I know they only recommend 1, but me, with the leg workouts that I do and the leg cramps and the stuff that I have in the lower lumbar, I have to take that. Somebody recommended mushrooms pills, vegetarian ones, so I just ordered those. I'm very, very grateful. And then CBD vaping. So Susan has what is it, Mama? Kawana or something that you send me, and that helps so much with just relaxing.
It's Canaway. Yeah, I have a little Canaway website, and they have those the CBD vapes don't have THC in them. So if you have a job where you don't, you get drug tested, you could use those. Actually, I don't have a jar, but they have capsules, and they have oils, and they also have a THC free, I think it's got 75 milligrams of CBD in it. That's pretty good. And then I make some other stuff too, but that's all the THC free stuff.
It helps so much when I can't sleep at night and I have a lot of pain because I have a torn rotary cuff and I'm still doing chest presses, doing all kinds of stuff because I'm not going to give up and that until I get an MRI, right? But that helps me so much, Susan. And it's so cool. She has like the kind of like the Merkaba, right? Or the all no triangle. And I'm very grateful for that, Susan. Thank you for making that for us.
Well, I'm getting ready to a friend of mine. His place got burned out in Berry Creek, so he doesn't have the place to make his pain salve. So I'm going to make his batch, and I get the leftovers. But I got his awesome recipe because he's doing the 3 Kings, and that's the recipe I wanted because on top of having 7 different spices that you can eat that are healthy for you, it's got frankincense, myrrh, and ormus in it, and it's all topical. So, but that's probably going to take a couple weeks to make. I got most of the stuff. I'm still waiting for like 5 more items because I've got like 7 different bags of herbs. Like, come on, I'm ready. I've got 7 different butters that we're using. So I'm pretty excited about this batch. It'll be really creamy. And I'm making these 4-ounce jars. They're pretty big. Because I gave you, that was a 1-ounce one, that one I sent you. But hopefully this other stuff comes soon so I can do this before I start my elderberry batches.
Yeah, I would love to try, especially the Ormus and the elderberry one. But what was I going to say? Protein, going back to the eating habits. So Susan, you were saying about the meat. I have to eat meat. I usually eat like meat every 3 days or 4, but for the past 2 weeks, I've had to eat meat every day. And it has to do with the iron, the blood. I also eat this at night when I'm extremely hungry. It's pure protein. They sell it at Costco. It's 20 grams of protein. And it's chocolate. And then I'll do like a little piece of dark chocolate at night too, because, or honey, like I'll do like a spoonful of organic honey, because I'm craving something like sweet.
Or
And
maple syrup. Maple
Right.
syrup is a good one. That's anti-inflammatory and it's yummy too.
Yeah, sometimes, dude, seriously, like I'll get a banana and put some honey in there and eat it in dark chocolate. I'm like, what the heck's going on in my body? Because I work so hard on my body that it's like saying, dude, like feed me like already, like give me my meat, And the other day I had chicken like 2 days ago, and I just wanted to just it just and the eggs too. Like I don't know if it's because I'm going through menopause. I've been going through menopause for a year in July, and just the eggs. Susan and I talked about the sulfur. What is it, Susan? I have to have the organic brown eggs, and that barely I can eat them.
I don't know. I just get the ones from the Amish farmer, those brown ones. But I noticed too that the menopause thing, the thing they don't tell you is you'll start craving sweets. I never craved sweets before. I mean, I would the day before, your monthly. Like I just have to make a big batch of chocolate covered iced brownies, and that was it. And just eat enough of those so I felt sick to my stomach. And I didn't want any sweets anymore. But the menopause thing is you crave sweets and they don't tell you that. But and it makes it harder to give up the sweets, and then trying to get rid of the sugar out of your coffee. I can't use the Truvia and that stevia stuff. It tastes like poison. What the heck can you use for an alternative that tastes decent,
So thanks, guys. I love all of that. So really all these things that I talk about, the healthy exercise, movement, healthy nutrition, healthy rest, relaxation, and sleep. And then the next one is healthy mental attitude. And I have like a lot of subs under that, like relationships, the way our jobs and the way we earn money. How do we feel about that? How is our attitude towards that? And then personal growth. It's like, when I was younger, that was not something that, we talked about a lot. Now that I'm older, it is like imperative that I'm doing my little personal growth thing every day, whether it be affirmations or praying or, like your sticky notes that you do, Veronica. And then also having a healthy mental attitude. We're seeing it more than ever from 2020 and 2021, being around people. Some of us are empaths, so we have to kind of pull back and get our energy back. But being around people is so crucial for our health and our immune system. The other thing too that I like to talk about is emotional intelligence, right? So some of that we're going to be getting, when we're doing our own personal growth, we're going to see what our sort of weakness areas or the gaps that we have in our personality or where we could grow. And that's what I like to talk about, emotional intelligence. But as far as having a healthy mental attitude, staying away from stressful, sad, and scary experiences have been, those actually suppress your immune function for about 20 hours after the experience. So even if it's a scary movie or having that real quick, sympathetic response from like a car accident or something. Go ahead, Veronica.
Real quick, it's flight, fight, or freeze. And imagine 20 hours after that, you're still like, no wonder, what the heck, And then kids, like they're feeding them all kinds of BS. Anyway.
And that all day long.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the other thing is, so fun, enjoyable experiences boost the immune system. Funny that, right? For boost the immune system function for 3 days after the experience. So that's even better, right? And this, I'm not just pulling this out of my, this is a director from immunosciences, Dr. Wajani. If you guys want the information, I have it right here. So anyway, anything you guys want to talk about your mental attitude and how that affects your immune system?
Just real quick, because I want to hear Chad and Susan as well, but being positive and loving toward yourself and quit like forever the negative self-talk here, and love your body. Yeah.
Well, I think it ebbs and flows. We all have those times where it's sort of like this, and being from a military family and supporting military people, what I have learned is, like we were talking earlier, Chad, I think it's great to have battle buddies. Okay, so you don't have to be in the military to have a battle buddy, and to have that circle of people that you can go to kind of chat with, talk something through. A lot of times they're going to be up when you're like this, and then vice versa, and you can help each other. So it sounds like, do you have something you want to say about that, Chad?
I couldn't agree with you more about the support group. I mean, part of me is strong enough. I feel like, okay, I can do this on my own. And I tried to do that most of my life. A lot of the messages I receive is, reach out and get some friends and get a support group, because ultimately we can, but who wants to be that statue, that pillar, that it's nice to have support groups around you. And and I agree with you 100% about it starting up here first, when it comes to nutrition and your emotional health and your attitude, about things. Because ultimately, if we were clear enough, maybe we wouldn't even need the food. I think our bodies take care of themselves, and we need to empower ourselves with that again. Food is a tool, and we do need it at the moment, but ultimately I feel like
I want everybody to know thyself, like write down what works for you, and get rid of those emotional baggages from the past. And I think that that's a great idea.
What were you going to say? Something, Susan?
No, it's like money been so tight lately that it was a good thing we were vegetarian, because the price of meat has gone through the roof. And I put that message in chat. I was like, yeah, it's a good thing I could actually afford it these last 2 weeks, because I was going to looking for what was I craving? One of those, I was craving German food. I don't know why, because it's October 1st, but I wanted a sauerbraten roast. And stupid roast was like 28 pounds or something. It was crazy. And then I had to use a different roast because I wanted an eye round roast, but I don't know. It ended up turning out all right, but it wasn't the roast I wanted. But meat was just crazy expensive. I got to look into this thing they have locally. You can buy meat and put it in a locker. I've never heard of such a thing, but apparently hunters and stuff will have so much meat they rent storage. And that's what I need to do out here to get organic beef. So if I was actually going to do that, I'd want to get grass-fed organic.
Right? I can dance if I want to. No, but I was just going to tell you, when I grew up in Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing, I know we're talking about healthy mental attitude, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the egg thing real quick, because what I did want to say earlier was sometimes it's what they're eating that affects you. So be thinking about that too, because, if it's a grass-fed versus corn or something like that, that could be affecting you, Veronica. If you guys wanted to say anything more about healthy mental attitude, I know it's super important for our immune system to keep it strong. You guys know this, or the way I feel. It's my job part of my job is to just hold that light for people and to be positive, and to also be the student when it's time for me to be the student, and learn from other people on different exercises and things that I could do to be positive. What I try to do is, since my time is regimented in the morning, I've picked my shower time to do my affirmations. I know that sounds silly, but it's my time that I'm alone. No one can bother me. and it's a habit now. So I really kind of like to do sort of like an affirmation type prayer in the shower. Okay, so the last thing I talk about is the healthy nervous system. You guys, I'm a chiropractor. Of course, I'm going to talk about that. But I thought it would be, I don't know how much time we have left. We've been going for a while, and I'm not keeping track of time. But, we've got the autonomic nervous system, which is like the umbrella for the sympathetics, like you just talked about, fight or flight, and then the parasympathetics, right? So, and then part of that is the reptilian brain. So I didn't know if you wanted to get into that. That could be a show number 2, I think, at this point, because we want to keep moving on. But, that's what I do as a chiropractor is I find joints that are stuck and I help people to put motion into them. That way the brain can start communicating to every single muscle, tissue, and cell and nerve and organ of the body. And when all of those things can be helped by the adjustment and working at optimum, then everything starts functioning better. Then we can sleep better. Then we're probably not getting less cravings. Then we're not getting the acid reflux or the headaches and different things like that, or just the back pain that will actually stop us doing the things that we love. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I feel like you're right with the mental attitude and talking about the nerves, but there's a connection with the gut too. So it almost feels like you either have to make the sacrifice and give up the sugar or whatever it is that's controlling the emotions down here below, or you have to pick yourself up by the bootstraps and adjust your mental attitude, but it is about that self-love. And it's kind of interesting because the gut does feel, is kind of your second brain down there, and we're feeding it. So,
and if it's full of parasites, how are we going to be able to function properly? So a lot of times we talk about is like, it's the parasites that are craving that sugar. They are working through you. You're just that vessel, and they're in there and they are calling for that sugar.
Oh my gosh, that totally reminds me when I was a kid in Mexico. Again, my cousin, I was so scared because they had to give her something. I don't know what they gave her, ivermectin. I don't know if it was that or what, but they took out, like, they were talking about like a worm that one of my cousins had worms in her stomach. I'm like, how's that possible? And imagine that, and then in the brain, right? Those happen in the brain, they happen in the stomach, and they can happen in your sacral. Why? Because
they can happen in the lungs and anything.
3 brains. How many brains do we really have? Brains, right? we're Halloween season. So it's like
I feel like she's lucky because I did the ivermectin too, and nothing came out, and I kind of felt gypped.
Well, I can't wait until you have Alexia on and you guys talk about the parasite stuff, because that's a completely different show. I mean, it could be 2 shows in one, but definitely when we talk about snakes and reptiles and long things like that, it all kind of goes together. So, and she does a wonderful presentation, so I'll let her finish that. But do you want to tie this up, Veronica? Was there anything that we wanted to talk about? Basically, you guys know my goal in life is to help save humanity in any way I can. And really, that's just to be a hope dealer, by sharing different ways we can band together to share health and wellness, right? So whether it be a show like this or one person at a time with our client, Susan, or future clients for you, Chad. That's what I'm doing. And I think you wanted to talk about a breakfast club that you're thinking of, Veronica. And go ahead.
Yes, you actually came up with the name, Maria. So thank you. I appreciate that, because I even shared this with Iris. And I told her what I miss the most of, being in the church is the not only the women's club, but just having that camaraderie with men, women, just having that family kind of unit. And Chad, I know you can relate to, because one of the reasons why I started my YouTube channel is because I wanted to heal myself and I wanted to make friends. that we're in the same high level, thinking, or same kind of goal, our missions, to complete our missions in life. So I was thinking of doing something, different topics. I was thinking we could start with once a week. It could be in the mornings, like 9, 10 a.m., or it could be 3 times a week for an hour, and everybody share a topic, and and it's just something like that. That would be really awesome. We can have our little, organic vegetarian muffin or whatever with our little coffee, or just make it really cozy, and especially right now when the winter's coming.
I
What do
think that
you
would be
all
fun. I think that sounds like a great idea. I think my idea is that I would love to share our dreams, if that's something that you guys want to do. If not, that's fine. But yeah, in the morning, I like to make protein bites like I made to show you guys tonight out of our Arbonne protein powder. I like to do a warm drink, I guess like a warm smoothie sometimes, but like you, Chad, I'm loving the mushroom based drinks. Oh my gosh, they are to me so much better than coffee, because I don't like that quick amp and then falling down. I don't like that. So yeah, whatever you like. But I've enjoyed this tonight. Thank you so much for letting me share and what I do in my office, Veronica.
You are very welcome. And yes, we will definitely have a 2, 3, 4 part, because your information is exciting, especially the last one. And the nervous system, we haven't even gotten into anatomy yet. We haven't gotten into acid reflux. Why do you get out of Chandra? Why do you get, stop drinking that stuff? Girl, put that down. You know what I mean? It's like self-talk. So I'm Veronica Bartolini, and we're gonna go around the room real quick, just for you all, the public, to find out how you can get a hold of these awesome, great people. Thank you.
Do you want me to go first? Again, I'm Dr. Maria Salas, owner of Healthwise Chiropractic in Redding, California. And I am an independent consultant with Arbonne International. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook. I'm on Telegram as well. And if you want to have a, like a 15-minute consult, and you want to chat about anything that we talked about on the show, you're more than welcome to get a hold of me in a direct message or a private message. And it was so nice to share with you guys. And thank you, Chad and Susan.
And thank you for having me as well. My name is Chad Cooper, and I just closed down a hypnotherapy practice and relocated. So I'm resetting at the moment, and I'm going to get back into that in just a moment. It involves getting a website going again and everything. So not to be gotten a hold of, but available if needed. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm Susan Long. I'm Divine Connections, massage therapy, and energy work. And you can reach me on Facebook. Then I'm also Dragon and Phoenix on Facebook. And Divine Boutique, I have an Etsy shop where I have crystals and Reiki jewelry and things like that. And that's on IG. And then I also have a Dragon and Phoenix page on IG where with my divine counterparts on there, but it's mostly me because he's not real tech savvy.
Hey, Susan, I still love those dragon earrings you gave me in that March conference in Las Vegas. I love them. You do great work. I love them. Next time I need to order a little bracelet or a necklace, but you do really beautiful work. As far as a website, Chad, maybe Jax can work out something with you. He's, he made mine, and then these are my t-shirts that are going to be going on sale. I finally got a calligraphy pen where I have to sign my name here, and then Iris helped me to come up with this logo because I wanted to, talk about being a code breaker, breaking the kryptonite, right? So I'm excited, guys. This is
Yeah,
this is not just for my channel or your.
That is so awesome. I love it. Can't wait to get one.
Yay. Okay, well, love you guys. See ya.